Good morning. Welcome to the Patricia Lindley studio here at the Patricia Lindley Center for the Performing Arts. Welcome to another episode of Dialogue with the Dukes. Today's show is being brought to you by the Bread and Brew Restaurant, located on the southwest corner of Route 58 and Route 18. Today, we are specializing soccer, both boys soccer and girls soccer. And we're starting out with boys soccer today. And to my immediate right, we have Henry Abrams. He's a senior on the boys soccer team. And to my left, we have Reese Leiby, a freshman on the boys soccer team. So welcome to both of you. Before we actually get into what's going on this season, I want to go over all of the conference and awards that were given out last year to the boys soccer team. As far as all Lorain County awards, first team was Gabe Hiroshak, along with Max Schatz. Second team was Dustin Andolsik and Spencer Brzee. And honorable mention were Jonah Stump and Zach Barnes. All Greater Cleveland, first team, Gabe Hiroshak. Second team, Spencer Brzee. And honorable mention was Max Schatz, Henry Abram, and Dustin Andolsik. And also congratulations to Coach Will Papps. He was considered or given the honor of being Coach of the Year for the Wellington High School soccer team last year. So welcome to both of you, and welcome and congratulations to all of the winners from last year. Knowing that, we want to go through and give a shout out to all of this year's boys soccer team members, and I'll hand that over to Reese Leiby. So if you'll list all the guys on the team.
Freshman, Casey Kogar. Freshman, Doug Mormon. Freshman, Reese Leiby. Freshman, Henry Toney. Freshman, Andrew Raven. Sophomore, David Roldan and Caleb Caswell. Juniors, Hugo Sariamento. Junior, Logan Kusan. Junior, Spencer Brzee. Junior, Zach Barnes. Junior, Robert Barnes. And then senior, Dulce Gomez. Senior, Henry Abram. Senior, Dean Phillips. And senior, Luca Maroney.
And our coaches this year are?
Will Papps is the head coach, and assistant coach Andrew Dooley.
Very good. Well, let's talk about this year. And first question to you, Henry. Robert Barnes is our goalie. What has he meant to you this year so far? And the fact that he has so far, he's got 28 saves in Lorain County as of the weekend, and that's averaging out to 7 saves a game. What has Robert meant to the team, and how well he has played so far?
So Robert really means a lot because the goalie is like the core of our team basically, and it's the only position on the field where you can actually use your hands. Everyone else has to kick the ball. And he's kind of like our final line of defense, so with all those saves and everything, he's really like holding the team together, and just by him playing great and having that many saves, it just really holds all of us together and makes it so that we can play better.
He has been doing. He has had a fantastic year. There's no doubt about it. Yeah. Well, Reese, how has the team improved this year? Because we started out doing something in my memory. I don't remember us winning our first 2 matches. So how has the team actually improved this year, even though you're a freshman?
I think this year, so far, from what I've seen, just going to open gyms when I was younger, I've seen everyone's put in some extra work over the summer, and everyone's been showing up to stuff. And we've just progressed really as a team, and at each practice you can tell the difference. Like, we're a lot better with the ball at our feet now.
Mm-hmm, exactly. Well, Robert, I'm talking about Robert again. Henry, besides wins, and obviously wins are probably the most important thing, but what are your goals for this year, especially you being a senior?
So my personal goals are that I want to make sure that the team is like set up for next year and that we can keep this winning going. And I also want to make sure that like everyone on the team is just like, able to play to their like best ability, and that I can help them out on the field with my last year, so
Sure.
that in following years they can also do the same thing and help the lower classmen when they're seniors.
Mm-hmm, exactly. Well, for the first time, again, in recent memory, Reese, we have 3 foreign exchange students on the team. So, what has been their impact? What has that meant to the team?
I think it just adds a different aspect to the team where we have, like, they have their own sense of humor, and we kind of combine it with our own, and it just makes for, like, some really funny moments, like during practices or games or just hanging out. And they also just bring, like, how they play soccer differently in Spain, and they kind of add that to our team, and that just kind of makes our team better overall.
Do they, the fact that there's humor involved, do they keep everything loose, or is it just within themselves and or with the team?
Typically, they'll kind of like teach you what they're saying, and then you can kind of like pick up bits and pieces. So like sometimes I'll hear what they're saying, and I just laugh at what they say.
They all speak Spanish out there on the field?
Yeah.
Is that right? Now how do you incorporate that if they're speaking Spanish? Unless you're taking Spanish in school, how do you incorporate that?
Well, I mean, sometimes they do like speak English to us, but like, I guess on the field, there's no like real way of communicating. I guess I just kind of have to like predict like what they're gonna do with the ball, or like where they're going with it. So
but this is something new for you,
Yeah.
being a senior, having 3 foreign exchange students. That's got to be something completely different as far as communicating or anything like that.
Yeah, it's definitely like a challenge sometimes.
I can imagine. Well, Henry, Coach Baps, as we mentioned, he was Coach of the Year last year. Is there anything that's different this year on the team because of the fact that he was Coach of the Year? Is there anything different, or the fact that you started out with 2 wins? How has he helped the team along?
Well, I feel like this year he's definitely pushed us a bit more, like as far as practice-wise. Like we're running more, we're doing better drills, and it just feels like the level of like play at practice and in games is just so much better. And then during the games at like halftime, I feel like he's doing a much better job of like, picking our team up and motivating us to play better so that we can like win these games.
Do you feel like this year is just so much better? Everything from attitude to playing to the wins, is everything completely different?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be honest. After Gabe and Max, quit, I thought the season wasn't going to go that great.
Right.
But everyone really picked it up. Like, just the entire team just stepped it up a ton. And then we had Dulce, Luca, and Hugo all step in, and it's just so much better.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Reese, you're one of 5 freshmen on the team. So as far as what you're trying to accomplish this year, being a freshman, how do you fit into the team, and we can actually say goals. What is your specific goal this year, or goals?
My specific goal this year is we're trying to get a better record than what we had last year, and we're trying to win conference this year, and I'm trying to help Henry out and try to make his senior year the best that his senior year could be. And then I just personally think that it's my job to get people to stay interested in soccer and get more people for next year, and try to just keep up the lower classmen just coming in, because 5 freshmen is a lot of freshmen.
Exactly. Well, we're doing something different this year, Henry. We're actually going to go to Columbus, Ohio. We're going to be playing a team, I believe, Calvary Christian High School in lower.com. I think that's what the field is called. We're actually going to be playing something, literally on the major soccer league level or MLS level. What does that mean for the school? What does that mean for actually playing in a major league soccer stadium? And what's it mean to you?
So I think it was kind of crazy because the year before, I would go to like all the high school state finals at that field, and I'd be like, yeah, there's no way we're ever playing here. And then once again in the season before, I went to a Columbus Crew game, and I was like, yeah, I wish I could play here. And then the opportunity kind of stepped up, and it was like I was just blown away because I'm like actually able to play there. And I'm sure everybody else on the team feels that way because it's a huge field. It's a great field. I mean, it's just like the perfect field, and we get to play on it.
There's got to be a level of excitement, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, last question, and I want to get technical. There's several penalties that are involved, fouls and so on. How is the proper way to perform a tackle versus getting into trouble with a foul?
So the main thing you got to focus on is that you get the ball and not the player, and that you don't go in like studs up, and you got to keep your feet from like absolutely cleaning the other guy into the floor, and you got to keep your hands down. You can't have him like at his neck.
Exactly. Well, we'd like to thank both Reese and Henry for coming in and talking about the boys soccer team this year and the fact that, especially starting out the season, they started out with 2 wins. As I said, I don't remember in recent memory that the boys soccer team has ever started out with 2 wins in a row. So that's certainly good kudos on your all's part, and you have done a fantastic job. We'll be back again after this message, and we'll talk to the girls and talk about the girls soccer team here at Wellington High School.
Hey, you like food?
Well, take a little walk down the Bread and Brew. Here, when customers walk in, they can get Wellington's finest coffees and pastries, even with fast service. Also, there are many tasty pastries you can choose from, including a chocolate pastry, muffins, cinnamon rolls, donuts, and more. On the menu, you can find a variety of foods, going from breakfast foods to lunch sandwiches, then to soups and salads. For beverages, you can find tasty smoothies and iced teas. There's plenty of places to sit with friends and family. There's even a cozy lounge up front to sit in.
You can contact Bread and Brew at 440-647-0082. Trust me, Bread and Brew will satisfy you with everything.
We are back. Remember, if you would like something good to eat, go to the Bread and Brew located in the corner, the southwest corner of Route 58 and Route 18. And not only that, but if your team or your organization has a meeting that you would like to go through at the Bread and Brew, they have a back room, and you can not only go there and have your meeting, but you can also have some nice refreshments too. So go to the Bread and Brew located on the corner, southwest corner of Route 18 and Route 58. We talked in the first segment to the boys and talked about the boys soccer team. Now to my immediate right, we have Nadia Greer, a senior on the soccer team for the girls, and we have Savannah Gundert, also a senior on the girls soccer team. So welcome to both of you. We want to talk about the girls soccer team, what's been going on this year. The first thing we're going to do, like I did with the boys, I'm going to go over all of the awards that were given out last year, and I think we're going to hear some familiar names on this list. The all-conference awards, first team was Savannah Gundert. Second team was Nadia Greer and Whitney Kirshner, and honorable mention was Jocelyn Krakenberger. All Lorain County Awards, first team, Savannah Gundert and Whitney Kirshner. Second team, Nadia Greer and McKenna Stahl. And honorable mention was Jocelyn Krakenberger and Brooklyn Regal. All Greater County District Awards, first team, Savannah Gundert. Second team, Nadia Greer. And honorable mention, Jocelyn Krakenberger, Whitney Kirshner, and McKenna Stahl. So welcome to, congratulations to last year's team, and congratulations to both of you doing an absolutely fantastic job. Well, one of the things, like we did with the boys, we want to go over all of the girls on the team and give them a shout out to make sure we don't miss anybody. So Savannah, could you do that for us?
Freshman number 19, Amelia Overstreet. Freshman number 21, Leah Stahl. Sophomore number 8, Addison McConnell. Sophomore number 12, Brooklyn Regal. Junior number 22, Sophia Yusuf. Junior number 14, Harper Fleming. Junior number 13, Lucy Roush. Junior number 18, McKenna Stahl. Senior number 17, Whitney Kirshner. Senior number 20, Nadia Greer. Senior number 9, Jacqueline Krakenberger. Senior number 5, Savannah Gundert. Senior number 1, Tess McDonald. And senior number 7, Hope Dudziak.
And obviously, I just realized I was pronouncing Miss Krakenberger's name. It's Jacqueline, right?
Yes.
Jacqueline, okay. The fact that we have a lot of, an overlord of seniors this year, and not that many underclassmen. So what are the challenges that are presented this year so far for the team?
There's been a couple challenges between the amount of knowledge known on the soccer field. Our team is evenly split between people who have played since they were 4 and people who it is now their first year. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of just a big challenge on how we can practice and get the girls better, but also still challenge the upperclassmen as well.
Is that hard? Is that hard for, both of you being seniors? Is that really hard to get them involved in the game because there's more seniors than anybody else?
Sometimes the energy just isn't there during practice, so it kind of like irritates not just the upperclassmen, but also our coach as well. And then other times the energy is there. It's a really good practice. So I guess it just depends on the day.
What's going to constitute a successful year this year, Savannah, for the girls soccer team?
I think something that will help us like be successful this year is the positivity and kind of like she said, going back and helping the kids that don't know like what they're doing as much and don't know the game as well, but also keeping the kids who know all the simple stuff involved and not just kind of like standing there like, oh, we already know this. So just kind of like keeping everybody involved, keeping a positive environment, and also helping the kids that are new get more knowledge in the game.
Perfect transition to you, Nadia. The fact that we've got 5 seniors on the team. Let's talk about those responsibilities. What is your responsibility? And Savannah and all the other seniors on the team.
So not everybody knows, but Jason changed it up this year, and he made all 5 seniors captains.
Okay.
So not only is it a big role for us during games to show respect to the other team and show how good sportsmanship is played, but it also is responsible for us to be leaders during practice and be respectful to one another and make sure that the newer girls are understanding what they're doing and just kind of having a positive environment, just making everybody feel welcome.
Exactly. Well, we've already talked a little bit about the underclassmen so far, the fact that we have 2 sophomores and 2 freshmen on the team. What's their role on the team, Savannah?
I feel like this year they had a pretty big role, and I feel like in years past they've had a pretty big role because I feel like our team is definitely not a seniority over talent. We are definitely a talent over seniority.
Okay.
And so the younger classmen have definitely stepped up, and they have proved that they deserve that time on the field. And I feel like as a freshman transitioning, or an underclassman transitioning into high school, it's a whole different, world of playing a high school sport. And so them stepping up and playing that role, I feel like they've handled it very well. And,
Good.
They haven't really, I guess, folded under pressure would be, the wording. But I think they have been a really big part to this team this year.
Exactly. Well, like we did with Robert Barnes when we talked about the boys soccer team, I want to give a special shout out to Whitney Kirshner. She has been absolutely fantastic, really throughout her whole time, on the girls soccer team for Wellington High School. Now, this is just Lorain County through 4 games. She has a phenomenal 69 saves so far, averaging out to 17.3 saves per game. So she has, like they talked about with Robert, she has really been a stalwart at the back of the defense for the Wellington team. What has she meant to you, and actually to Savannah, for the team, again, being all seniors?
I've grown up with Whitney since I was 4. I first started out as goalie when we first started playing, and then I got put on the field, and Whitney became our goalkeeper, and she's kind of just been our goalkeeper ever since. I mean,
she was kind of thrust into the role, wasn't she?
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah, because she didn't have any experience before. You're now the goalie.
Yeah.
So she had a special challenge ahead of her, didn't she?
Yeah, I couldn't imagine anybody else being our goalie.
Well, she has done a fantastic job, and I might well add that the fact that last year they had a little wrestling belt that was given out especially to people that had done very well during special sports. And last year, Whitney was awarded the wrestling belt for that particular game, and y'all won.
Yeah.
And the fact that she did so well in goal, I think, was extremely important. Well. Savannah, our last 4 matches, for some reason, our last 4 matches this year are all home matches. And 3 out of 4 are conference games. So are you pointing towards that? What are you actually doing to get ready for those last 4 games, if there's anything different from the matches that we normally play every day?
I feel like at practices and stuff like that, it's not different whether it's home or away, but I feel like the support behind the community it's definitely, there's a lot more people at home matches. And I feel like something really big that we're preparing for, well, I know at least like me and Nadia is senior night. I feel like, because that's coming up, I feel like that's a really big role, and we put it as more of, we put it on a game that's going to be more difficult for us, and it's just to kind of push us because nobody wants to lose on their senior night. So we put that as a bigger game for us to challenge us more, and it's just the last 4 games being home, it is a challenge, but I feel like it's also one that we're able to like get through and do it like successfully.
Exactly. Well, last question to you. What has Coach taught you this year so far? Or what has he taught you over the years?
I think he has taught me a lot over the years, but I think what has stuck with me mainly from this year is no matter what happens, no matter how many times I mess up, no matter how many times I
don't
miss
mess up, Nadia.
a goal or a pass or I get frustrated, he always makes sure that he just lets me know that I can still do it and that there's still somebody to believe in me, whether or not I'm down on myself or not. So that's kind of stuck with me a lot this year.
Exactly. Well, again, I want to get technical. These 2 ladies to my immediate left and right are always up and down the soccer field all the time. And I think one of the biggest challenges for the 2 of you and for the whole team really is how do you actually remain onside? Because so often they're, called, and I shouldn't say often, maybe not the right word, but the fact that you're going up and down the field, how do you stay onside? What's the secret?
The secret is you have to stay with the other team's last defender because you have to have 2 people from the other team in between you and the goal that you're shooting in to be on sides. And the goalie counts as one of those players. Right. So you just have to make sure that you have the goalie and one of their team members in between you and the goal. And then you just stay on sides.
No, well, it's tough, I know, because I know that both of you want to go up and down the field and score those goals, so I know that's extremely tough. Well, we'd like to thank both Nadia and Savannah for coming in and talking about the girls soccer team this year and what the challenges have been, and certainly the fact that there's so many overload of seniors on the team this year, and how do you get the underclassmen involved? So again, thank you very much, Savannah and Nadia, for coming in and talking to us, as well as having Reese and Henry coming in and talking about the boys soccer team. We'll be back again very soon with another episode of Dialogue with the Dukes.